This time, on the Highway Thru Hell,
You're snowing like a son of a...
45 tons of lumber jams the Trans-Canada.
Oh, this looks bad.
Going too fast.
While another wreck teeters on the edge.
No!
And a complex recovery.
I don't know why we're doing it like this.
Brings tensions to a boil.
I work 24 hours a day.
Tearing open a rift between Jamie.
You gotta badmouth me on the wreck, right?
And his top dog.
I don't need this job. Maybe I'll just pack up and leave.
In the rugged mountains of the Pacific Northwest, there's a highway like no other. The Coquihalla is an engineering marvel. But when the weather turns bad...
Look out! It's like the Bermuda Triangle of truck accidents.
Keeping the Coke open takes an army.
When the highway shuts down, the world shuts down.
And a last line of defense.
Jimmy Davis en route.
A heavy rescue team ready to tackle any disaster. Because here, closure is not an option. Heavy snow on the Coke has trucks diverting to Highway 1 through the Fraser Canyon.
How's the canyon?
But weather isn't much better there.
From Smuzz of the Boston Bar, it's snowing like a son of a...
Can you make sure you got chains on that thing?
Just a warm set, but it'll do it. Anybody hear about the truck at Boston Bar that went over?
Closed in both directions.
At just after 11 o'clock, a call comes in for a flipped B train full of lumber.
4 kilometers east of Boston Bar.
There's a semi flipped over load of lumber, and it's blocking all lanes of the highway.
Yeah, just another day for a tow truck guy.
The wreck has closed down the Trans-Canada Highway just outside the town of Boston Bar.
The weather conditions are really bad here, getting worse as we drive out.
With snow pounding down in the canyon, the heavy rescue crew must be extra cautious.
When the snow's so heavy, there's like one lane in the middle of the highway here. That's the biggest issue here, is get there without dying. The different highways that we work on all have areas that people misjudge. You gotta have your wits about you when you're driving those mountain highways. That's how it is.
The wreck happened on a notoriously sharp curve.
Yeah, we're getting really close here now.
It's not the first time heavy rescue has been here.
This is at the same corner where another fellow died last season.
Last winter, a truck lost control and smashed into a power pole, killing the driver.
So this is some of his personal stuff, so we'll keep care of that for company. We'll probably send it back in a box to the company and they can deal with what they can deal with. I'll keep this for him. Things run through your mind. You wonder who the person is. You know, does the person have kids? You know, is there somebody at home waiting for him to get home? This one, a year later, basically to the day, is a little bit spooky.
The B train, hauling 2 trailers, hit ice, clipped a barrier, and flipped. This time, the driver survived, but the load is all over the highway.
Okay, here we go. So yeah, that's a lot of lumber, eh? Where does it go, all in this guy's yard? These people's yard? Wow.
My house was 20 feet from the road where the wood started coming flying off the highway.
Then it flipped on its side, and there were sparks everywhere, and there was wood flying everywhere, and I ran.
The spilled cargo is blocking access to the wreck. Jamie can't do much until a front-end loader clears a path.
I don't know if they interfere with the lumber.
But with only one front-end loader available to move 45 tons of wood, it's slow going. After 20 minutes of shoveling 2x4s, they've barely made a dent. The lineup of traffic is getting worse by the minute.
Okay, come on out of there. Yeah, come on up.
This delay to the overnight freight run means millions of dollars of cargo won't be arriving on time.
Yeah, the road is completely blocked.
Feeling the pressure, Jamie figures if he can't get to the wreck, why not bring the wreck to him?
You know what we should do? I'll come over here. I'll drag it this way, and then you get on that side now. How's that? Okay. Kev, can you get the cable back? So I'm gonna back up, and then I'll go over there.
Jamie decides to pull the wreck up the road so he can flip it.
Getting off the highway like right now.
But sliding a 15-ton truck on its side is a tough pull, even for the mighty rotator.
What's it look like on the other side? I'm the daddy.
They get it clear of the lumber.
Stop right there, stop right there.
But now, they have to get it on its wheels.
Throw the brake on, Kevin.
Scott and Gord arrive just in time to rig up the wreck.
It's right here, Adam. Is it?
They can't disconnect the trailers while they're on their sides, so they'll have to flip the entire rig all at once.
Yeah, I can grab the back one line in each, eh? I'll come right here, and I'll just get on the tractor.
They've traded one problem for another. The new spot is one of the narrowest sections of the highway.
If he goes over a bit... We're kind of having issues with space. We don't have enough room here to get the trucks in the right spot.
Normally, they'd put their wreckers on either end, perpendicular to the wreck, but the road is too narrow. Jamie has to position both trucks near the front. It's not the ideal angle, but it's all he's got.
I'll come right here, Jim. We can't get the trucks, backed in properly, and I'm kind of working alongside Adam. Yeah, just around the wheel in here. So both loops are here.
To get a better angle, Jamie fully extends the rotator's 3-stage boom arm.
Too tight, eh?
Don't pull too hard, he's just winching it out. Good. You ready?
They want the heavy cab to start flipping first and let it pull the two trailers with it. Last winter, it worked like a charm on another B-train wreck not far from here.
Let's do the back one, Adam.
But this time, they're not so lucky. The snow on the road is keeping the wheels from digging in.
I don't know why we're doing it like this. All we're doing is pulling the trailer over towards me and sliding. Why doesn't he go down? You want to pull down on that?
It'll come. You just go ahead. I'll pull after. This isn't doing so great.
It's picking and sliding. The trailer's kicking out all the time. I don't why we wouldn't run a line down low, maybe.
Yeah, to what though? Adam and I can, usually spot what we're doing, and we're right on the ticket. But on this one, we're kind of a little bit off our usual game here.
The tension between Jamie and Adam has been brewing for weeks.
You can only go so much. I'm only one man.
With Jamie spending more time in the office, Adams had to take on more responsibility on the highway.
If I pull my socks up anymore, I'm gonna tear my feet out the end of them.
They run me to my breaking point. I work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. What about me? I have a family, I have kids. Don't I deserve a couple days off? Woo. No, I'm to the point where if I don't make some kind of change, I'm not gonna be any good to anybody.
2 days ago, Adam skipped town without telling Jamie.
Something just switched off in my head, and I figured, I just don't want to do this anymore.
Jamie and his top driver have barely spoken since Adam got back.
I just gonna keep my mouth shut. No comment.
flipped B train has Highway 1 backed up for miles.
I don't know why we're doing it like this.
Heavy Rescue is struggling to flip it back on its wheels. But on the icy road, it just keeps slipping. And Jamie's top guy is losing patience with the boss's plan.
Why doesn't he just pull down on that thing?
I'll get a chain and we'll anchor off to the back.
New driver Scott Bird gets an idea. He re-rigs the cables to a low point on Adam's truck.
Don't go to that leg, it takes all my weight off. This one? Yeah, I gotta go up to the top here.
By pulling down instead of sideways, the back trailer should flip first, bringing the cab with it.
Go ahead, pull the back one. Look out. Look out, guys. Front end's coming. Just like that.
Scott's idea pays off.
I'm just gonna pull straight ahead, okay? Get out of the way.
Minutes later, they get a single lane open.
Highway 1 is now open, boys. It's getting nasty up there, too.
But Adam is in no mood to celebrate.
Well, let's go. Tie that chain to that hook. Kind of wanted to have a nice, relaxing night, but oh well.
Adam and I, the only issues we have, we're having a hard time to communicate with each other, and it made for a bit of a rough one.
You know, I don't even care. I hook on this thing and I'm done my job and going home.
This morning, Adam has come in early after telling Jamie they need to talk.
I don't need this job. I can go to work anywhere else. I can hop in a highway truck. I can do anything I wanted to do. I don't need to be here 24 hours a day. Maybe I'll just pack up and leave.
Scott wonders what's up.
Well,
What are you doing this morning?
waiting for Jamie. I called him a while ago. He said, come on over, so. Yeah.
Adam's got a young family. You can't sit down to any function without the fear of that frickin' phone going off.
So maybe I'll just quit.
Really? Why would you do that?
I don't know. I work 24 hours a day, 5 days a week, and I think that's pretty much good enough for me.
If he left, it would affect me. It would bother me. But there's a point where a person just says, hey, if he decided to do what he's got to do and he moves on, what can I do about that?
There, Bruce. You wanna go outside for a minute there so we can talk?
I guess give us a couple minutes. Thanks.
No, I don't know how to even start this, to be honest with you, but I guess the last month I just felt like he worked me to death.
Look, it's the season, buddy. We're busy. You do what you can do, and that's how it is every year, and it's the same every year.
I understand that, but I gotta listen to what you say, and I try to respect you as much as I can, but it just seemed like
You're the only guy shouldering the whole place.
there comes a point where a guy has to have somewhat of a life.
Yeah.
I don't know if you agree with that or not.
No. It needs a change of pace.
Yeah.
You went hard for that month, and at the end of the day, you probably did the most of it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want you to go somewhere else.
So no, I basically just want to start having maybe a couple days off a week.
I get where he's at. Adam is shouldering the most of the work. And we've come to the realization that we need another guy to help Adam, do that workload that he deals with.
That guy was supposed to be Scott, but the new truck Jamie promised him still hasn't left the assembly shop.
I had everything lined up, ready to go. Didn't happen.
In the meantime, Scott's been bouncing between Jamie's smaller, older trucks.
I'm really getting unimpressed here.
And he's getting tired of it.
Oh, this is just 100% unacceptable. Ah, yeah, dirty.
Today, he's driven to the assembly shop to check on his new truck's progress.
Dwayne, you're working on the wrong truck, buddy.
I know. Be right there.
Gotta get you over here, Dwayne. So this is the truck.
It has a 600 horsepower Caterpillar in it. It's got a 20,000-pound front axle. It's got 46 rear ends with lockers. The wrecker's brand new. It's a 30-ton Century wrecker. Every full load bell and whistle on this thing, it's got everything.
Is it ever shiny, eh?
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Shiny stuff. Chrome flares, lights, light rock.
Yeah. Shiny, shiny. Makes a guy feel good running down the road, having a prime piece of truck underneath him. Yeah, but it's a touch screen versus Jamie's touch pad. So I got a little bit more Google-phonic than him.
Good. Don't let him swap it out on you.
Well, I won't. It was a beautiful thing. And it just made me a little bit more antsy. Let's just get in the truck and go.
The only problem, it's still not ready.
What kind of a timeline are we looking at? So we're a couple weeks out?
A couple of weeks out.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not the news he was hoping for, but at least there's an end in sight.
Okay, man. Every minute I'm here bugging you is a minute less wasted on the truck, eh? I want that thing on the road. You know, we're 4 months behind schedule. It's been affecting my income. I left behind some pretty good opportunities to make a lot of money. I shouldn't have listened to Jamie. Yeah, it's happening, it's happening, it's happening. I shouldn't have come here until that truck was on the road. I may be faced with the possibility of having to just dump Jamie on his ass and go elsewhere, you know?
New driver Scott Bird joined Jamie's team with the promise of a brand new heavy wrecker.
What kind of a timeline are we looking at? So we're a couple weeks out?
A couple of weeks out.
Yeah.
But it's months behind schedule, and Scott is losing patience.
I may be faced with the possibility of having to just dump Jamie on his ass and go elsewhere, you know?
Until the new truck is ready, Jamie has put Scott in a vintage 1985 5-star General.
Nothing like a rotator, eh?
Who needs a rotator? We got this.
Yeah, old school.
Scott is eager to show off his stuff. Last week, using Adam's record, he hit a home run.
Okay, everybody.
When he single-handedly flipped a B-train.
Textbook.
But with the old General, it's going to be tough to keep the winning streak going.
What's it got on it for gear?
Chain, man.
Those are old school.
I think I might have to grab that up in mine.
I don't know, it's kind of a cute little truck. You know, it's a hydraulic and it's a nice little truck. You know, it's kind of a good little backup truck. It's kind of a truck that you can use for a few weeks and at least make some money around here.
Well, you know, one nice thing about it is it'll kind of fit in the gap on your museum pieces there. I'm not in my truck, I don't have my gear, it makes it really frustrating.
Up on the Coke, yesterday's storm has passed, giving highway crews a chance to clear the snow buildup.
From a big storm to clear skies.
Higher up the mountain, a new danger is looming.
We got a runner here. There. That big wall. You see it?
Last season, the Coke was shut down when an avalanche hit the highway.
Closed. High hazard. Highway's closed.
These vehicles must be out of here right now.
Avalanche observations, size 2 naturals and roads to granite. It's trending warm.
It's the full-time job of a team of avalanche technicians, AvTechs, to keep the snow from reaching the road. They monitor the more than 50 active avalanche chutes that stretch above these mountain highways.
Here's the snow shed over here. These two paths are a real concern for us because this is often where traffic gets backed up. Their exposure to the avalanche hazard goes up exponentially when you stopped. Just yesterday, there was a deposit that was 60 feet from the road.
It's not just an office job. Today, they need to get a closer look at a section of the snowpack, 1,500 feet above the highway. And there's only one way to get there.
All right. We're gonna go right through here?
Yeah.
What do you think? Dig above that little tree?
Yeah.
Snow piles up in layers of different densities.
There's a slight layer in here.
Avalanches happen when a heavy layer breaks free of the snowpack underneath.
The area is known for getting a meter or more of snow overnight. That'll produce avalanches relatively quickly.
17 to 38.
17 to 38.
What they're looking for is a weak layer.
Let's call them 2-3.
2 to 3, okay.
If they find evidence of instability,
And dotted away.
they could drop percussion bombs to trigger a controlled avalanche. For right now, the snowpack seems stable.
Guys ready?
The Avtechs will keep a close watch on it. More weather is on its way. But there is one avalanche zone they can't tame. At the bottom of the Smasher, the highway passes under the Great Bear Snow Shed, a reinforced concrete tunnel that allows the biggest snowslides on the Coke to thunder safely over 6 lanes of traffic. Today, an accident inside the snow shed has left traffic exposed and at risk.
That's very dangerous. With respect to avalanches, we would try and actually get most of the volume moved through as quickly as we possibly could.
A pickup spun out on the icy snow shed floor. An SUV swerved to avoid it, lost control, then hit the barrier and flipped. The RCMP has closed the road, but with traffic backing up in an avalanche zone, they want it open again now. Ken Monkhouse happened to be just up the road in his flat deck. With no time to call for backup, he's got to do this one on his own, and do it fast.
You're gonna roll this one over, go over, load the one over there, come back, load this, go up the hill.
So we had a 25-kilometer long lineup, right down, almost down into Hope from the snow shed.
To speed things up, he wants to flip the SUV and get it on his flat deck in one quick move.
Big stress, lots of traffic, lots of people sitting trapped.
But the road surface is too icy. The SUV won't flip. A long line of cars is backed up in an avalanche zone. Inside the snow shed, Ken is racing to get the Coke open.
You've got all these people, they're in the worst possible place you could ever be in, and it's a sheet ice inside the shed.
But he can't clear the wreck if he can't flip it. Ken re-rigs with a 2-point line, hoping he can swing the SUV into a position where he can get it to roll upright. When the shed was built, engineers embedded electric warming coils in the pavement, but due to safety concerns, they were turned off years ago. Even with 2 lines, Ken can't get the SUV to flip.
It wouldn't dig in, it wouldn't flip over.
So he tries something else.
I knew that I had to have an extreme low line to the back end of the truck to get it to come over.
To pull down on the flipped vehicle, Ken rigs to the low point of his flat deck. He's betting it'll force the rubber on the tires to dig in.
I'm looking around, I'm seeing the look on the cop's face. We know it's turning into a gong show. You know, we gotta nip it in the bud because this is taking way too long.
It works. He quickly gets the other vehicle on his flat deck, hooks up the SUV, and the highway's open.
It was extremely embarrassing that it took me as long as it did. I've done recoveries like that in 3 minutes. It was still a win. Nobody got hurt. Everything got done. Nobody got killed. No avalanches.
Higher up near the summit, new guy Gord's on his first solo job.
I'll just hook up from the back end, and then the other guy's gonna come up and just make sure everything's good to go. I mean, I'm not used to being up on the hill like that, right? It's my first winter ever. So, I mean, I'm thinking, oh, how should I hook it up? These gloves suck. They're actually freezing. My hands are sweating, so they're starting to freeze, yeah.
Ken stops by to check on his apprentice.
Oh, I got it all hooked up, just making sure you have a look at her. And
When I started driving tow trucks, most tow truck drivers were big, hairy guys, leather vests, lots of rings, lots of yelling, lots of fighting and crap like that, and I wasn't like that.
I looked out for the brake lines and everything.
Looks good, buddy. When I look at Gord now, I see myself, 25 or 30 years ago. Whenever you throw four-wheel drive to the back, automatic or standard, always make sure it's in neutral, especially with the automatic.
Okay.
Okay, up a bit more. In neutral?
Yeah, it's in neutral.
In neutral?
Yeah.
Is it in neutral? Good.
Turn the heat on, huh?
Beautiful.
All right.
Gord definitely has the tow truck DNA. I wouldn't have second thoughts about leaving him on his own. Okay, it is going to dog track a bit.
Yeah.
When you get to the brake check, just get out, feel the hub, make sure it's not getting too hot.
Okay.
Okay, buddy?
Right on, thank you.
Just go slow, take your time.
Oh, yeah. He just basically showed me how to hook up, but I already had the right idea. This is what I'm learning to do, and this is what I want to do. It is pretty much like tow truck school.
At the base of the Coke, an oversized load has been waiting for traffic to clear.
We're 106 feet 6 inches long, 1510 high, and 177,000 pounds gross.
Destined for a mine, the huge steel cylinder had to be cut in half to transport.
That's not like hauling your average load down the highway.
Wide loads test the limits of highway infrastructure. Recently, an oversized trailer clipped a head beam on a bridge in Washington state. A section of the structure collapsed and 2 cars fell into the water.
They get huge money to haul those loads. There's a real risk. With the risk comes reward. It's a large, large responsibility.
The big concern is that the oversized load has less than a foot of clearance through the Great Bear snow shed. Because the shed ceiling is sloped, the load will only fit if it's in the left-hand lane.
Height-wise is a bit of an issue going through the snow shed there. We have to take the left lanes just so that we can fit underneath.
There's all kinds of things that can go wrong. You just gotta hold, keep your fingers crossed, nothing does.
Alrighty, we're ready, let's get going here.
All right, 10-4.
By law, the oversized load requires escort vehicles in the front and back.
Okay, you're about 3 feet off the right side there, Dale.
The convoy stays in the right-hand lane for the slow drive up, so traffic can move around them.
Okay, you got an 18 coming up fast on you.
Alrighty, I'll give him a little more room here.
10-4.
He's coming right up on your doorstep.
The plan is to shift lanes just before they reach the snow shed.
I'm going to be holding all lanes back for you, and nobody's getting by at this point.
Alrighty, I'm just gonna keep this gear, this speed.
Okay, that mobile parking lot's coming down on your left.
All drivers northbound, we are taking up all lanes. Please do not attempt to pass.
But just as the convoy tries to move into position, an oversized load is headed for the snow shed. The right-hand lane is too low, So to clear it, they'll need to be in the left.
Even though I've been doing this for almost 25 years, it still makes you nervous.
All drivers northbound, we are taking up all lanes. Please do not attempt to pass.
But just as the load driver is about to switch lanes to the left,
What are you doing?
he gets cut off.
You got a 4 that just decided to sneak on by. He's coming up on your left.
He can't stop, or he'll lose the momentum he needs to get up the hill.
Got the 2 left lanes secured for you.
We'll have clearance if we're lucky.
All right, you are in.
In heavy rescue towing, Sunday is just another workday. But today, for the first time all season, one of the hardest working drivers on the hill gets a day off.
Being a good girl, Abby.
All the long hours and miserable nights of screaming at myself. That's the reason why I do everything, to make sure they have a decent life anyways. Let's go, Kayla. If it wasn't for my 4-year-old, I'd be gone doing something else. Come on, Abby, let's go, sweetie. I want to watch my little girl grow up.
We'll have hot cocoa when we get inside, okay?
Adam's not the only one putting his family first today. Rookie driver Gord's traveled to the city to visit someone special.
So what's happening? Hello. Yeah. How are you?
Good.
Yeah? I haven't seen my daughter for about 3 weeks now. I think about it every day, right?
Gord's daughter lives with her grandparents, so he can work in hope.
Come here.
Jump really high.
As high as you can. Oh, yeah. It's awesome to be here, because being up there all the time and just miss a lot of this. Gets a little tough.
Gotcha.
Up on the Coke, Adam's HR-52 patrols the highway. But it's not Adam behind the wheel.
Jamie David is going up there pretty quick, maybe.
I'm on my way.
With Adam off, Scott's working the weekend shift.
It's Adam's truck, it's not mine, you know. I don't plan on taking Adam's job away from him, but it's nice when Adam decides to take some time off.
Wonderful.
He spots a semi broken down inside the snow shed.
Well, we're gonna stop and check on this guy because he is in a pretty dangerous spot.
Well, here comes Jamie David here. I don't know if he's here for me or not.
Hey, what was your name?
Dave.
Dave? Okay, I'm Scott. What's wrong with it?
Red. Blew the red on it.
Oh, yeah. Son of a bitch. Okay.
Water problem.
Little bit of a water problem.
There's no cell service, so the driver can't call to authorize a tow.
Just gonna pull this guy into a safe spot. It's just the right thing to do.
Scott tows him anyway.
We're gonna lift off to start it up. Just give me a little lift. Yeah. And then go into neutral.
Sure, you want me to shut it off, did you say?
Yeah, shut her off. Let's not hurt your motor. A lot of guys, they won't get out of their truck and help people out, but, you know, that guy sitting there is kind of dangerous. In the long run, it'll work out to our advantage. And, you know, he'll talk about it. He'll say good things about it. And when he's talking good things about it, there's 1,000 guys listening to the radios. Okay, we're done. Can't help everybody for free, but it's nice to help some people now and then.
At the end of his shift, Scott drops off Adam's truck back at the yard.
No scrapes, no dings, we're all doing good. Little housekeeping, got a little bit of garbage to get out of here. I'll finish my move out in the morning.
But next morning, Scott's house cleaning doesn't quite pass the Adam test.
You can just tell it's been smoked in because you can see all the nicotine everywhere, right?
He was smoking and there's ashes all over the place.
Well, I like to keep it clean, eh? Yeah. It's like changing your underwear every day. It's got to be done.
He'll never drive my truck again. He lost that privilege.
So for Scott, it's back to the 5-star general.
Come on, turn the lights on, they don't even come on. One of the main reasons why I came here is because I was told that I would be running a certain piece of equipment. Had I been offered the GMC General, I would have never come. Tired of eating bones, I want my steak.
Going pretty hard in the canyon. You just want to take her easy. Those roads are slippery there. Yeah, it's pretty bad up there, guys.
At just before dawn, a call comes in for a wreck on Highway 1.
I heard it was a mail truck. I got a feeling this is going to be a long day.
We're headed out to a wreck just north of Lytton. A mail truck is jackknifed and hanging over the edge.
The wreck is an hour north of Hope near the town of Lytton. After 2 days' rest, someone else is eager to get back in the action.
Good to go out and do something, make a few bucks. And I'm married to my wife and I'm married to this truck, so I got to split the time between the two of them. That's who I am and that's what I do.
We're just on bare bones guys here, me and Adam, and no helpers.
Holy. These trucks don't like the snow. I think his passenger fender's almost kissing the passenger side of the trailer.
Holy moly. Look at that. Straight down. Holy moly. Look at that. Straight down.
A truck loaded with Christmas mail teeters on the edge of a cliff.
My Christmas present's in there. It's heavy.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing, isn't it, eh?
The truck jackknifed and crashed through the guardrail. All that's holding it from a 600-foot free fall is a single tree.
Uh-oh.
And that's not the only problem.
The trailer and the tractor may not be connected together. If we started pulling on the tractor and the trailer wasn't hooked up, we'd be in a mess of trouble. Then the trailer would go like this. So is this fifth wheel still hooked up? Yeah, it's on then.
Wheel's on.
Yeah, okay.
But there's no frame here. That frame looks broke right there. He's buckled in half.
Unbelievable.
The trailer is still connected, but the fifth wheel plate holding it is cracked in half.
Might be a cutter.
Adam hooks up a line to secure the trailer just in case the tree gives way. Jamie is worried about the semi separating.
And then just two low lines to it. You know, we have to be fairly delicate about what we're doing. And then it doesn't go down anywhere, right? So you've got it. And we have to make sure that we're not going to put too much pressure on it. And then I'll come back right up to this thing that way.
The highway has been closed for going on 2 hours now.
So you know what? It doesn't look like it's going to open anytime soon. No, you can't go anywhere. You're pretty much stuck.
Whatever they're going to do, they need to do it fast.
You know, we could have some troubles with this truck frame. It's a bit pretty flipsy, flopsy, so Adam will hold on to the back end of the trailer no matter what. We decide not to do anything much more with the trailer for fear of damaging it.
His plan is to use the rotator to ease the cab out and hope the trailer comes with it.
Okay, guys, you want to probably stand back a bit. Better let you pull it. Pull back a bit, yeah.
Hey, hold on to it.
Okay, stop for a minute. Is that thing hammered?
The cab's rear axle is broken and dragging.
You know, the axle is actually rolling underneath it and creates more resistance. Hold it. Tell me to hold it.
They get it out, only to discover that the cab is even more damaged than they'd thought.
Wow, spare parts. I think she's like a single axle now, eh, Bob?
Yeah, you took her right out.
Yeah.
That landing gear okay? Wow.
But the trailer's vital signs are good.
Landing gear works. How do we luck out that way? So the trailer's pretty good then, really.
You didn't rip it off.
I know.
The intact landing gear means another cab can hook up and get Christmas back on track. But first, they need to disconnect it from the fractured fifth wheel.
Being a bitch, eh?
I'm trying to pull the kingpin here, but the frame rails are bent right together, like, holy
Jaws lock around a kingpin, linking the trailer to the cab. When the lever is pulled, it should release the jaws.
So when the jaws went around the trailer kingpin, they either bent or twisted somehow when the truck went down. Totally clear. Murphy.
Adam tries using a chain to pull the release lever.
What do we do? What do we do? Ready? What about lowering the trailer down a bit on it?
Adam lowers the landing gear, hoping to shift the weight off the lever.
Hold it.
Nope. Nothing.
A 5-minute job has now taken over an hour, and the highway is still closed.
Until we get that fifth wheel unhooked from this tractor, we can't do anything. We're dead in the water.
Well, it's a waste of everybody's time. Keeps the highway closed. Gets Bob mad at me. Jerking around here. We're looking like idiots at the side of the highway trying to get this stupid fifth wheel out. Adam's getting frustrated. I'm frustrated.
Did it move?
I don't think so.
What the?
We don't have time to monkey around. It's starting to piss us off. Anything?
Nothing.
An hour becomes an hour and a half.
This is like trying to unhook the fifth wheel from hell.
We're cocked to this. What if we were to pull this thing straight so everything's, the whole unit straight?
Could do.
When all else fails, Jamie turns to the biggest tool he's got, the rotator. He lifts the front of the cab, shifting pressure off the plate, while Adam uses a ratchet to pull the lever.
Right there. Go back with it. Oh, right, oh. Moving now, is it?
Yeah, it's going.
There we are. Got her there.
Got her?
You betcha. Brute force. Man is stronger than machine.
After a nearly 3-hour shutdown, the Trans-Canada Highway is finally open. And for a change, Jamie is having a good day.
Equipment's paying off, and the fact that we're in tune with each other is paying off. There's 2 guys, 2 trucks. We got the old hardcore boys. They're getting her done.
Next time on the Highway Thru Hell.
4 inches of ice.
$1 million wreck.
Look, jackknife.
leaves a load of prescription drugs stranded on the mountain.
This thing is hammered right in here.
That ain't good. I've never seen anything like that before.
And
What is he doing down there?
the heavy rescue headaches keep piling up,
Why isn't he getting up the hill and opening the road? Tell me what you're doing.
forcing Jamie to get tough
Why aren't you up the hill?
with his most senior driver.